Hey, what is up, guys? It's your buddy Scares here. No, it's Fumble My Bees, but at the request of a user, I am going to be showing them how to do body animation, or more realistic body animation, I should say. So, um, yeah, let's get to it. I've got a next scene coming up, and I might as well show them how to do it in here. So, this is how I'm going to teach you, for anyone who may be watching, not just the person requesting. Okay, so well, I'm gonna be doing a little bit of a scene here. It's gonna be not just realistic body motion, but you'll see a little bit of everything. You'll see what I'm talking about. I'm basically just gonna make another clip here, and you should be able to pick up maybe some tad or shred of animation skill just by watching. I don't know. So let me spawn an engineer. Let's see, a long time ago I had a video that involved a floating engineer that teleported into this map, so I think I'll continue that legacy. Let's see, I'll rotate him this way, bit to the left. Alright, now I'm gonna rig him with bip simple, because the way I posed him in the last video, not the last, but rather that old video, was quite lazy. He had feet like this. Let's put these feet more on the watermelon. That's looking pretty good. Now hit the hands. I think they were like this. No, the hands were up and stupid like this. Now I remember. And then remove that rig from them. So just gonna right click that, detach rig, detach all. Do a little control S right there just to be sure I'm okay. Move that head up. Okay. Now that I have my shot established, I can get a better idea of how I want it to play out. So maybe I'll have him fully on screen here, and then I'll have a close-up shot. Okay. So if I want him to warp in, let's see, I'll put a particle system. You guys can't see this, hold on. Let me fix this. Alright. Particle system. I will find this in the x86 Steam's DMAP Source Filmmaker Game TF Particles. Let's see. Is there a teleport effect anywhere here? A lot of effects are kept under a general name, so be sure to check things that may somehow relate to it. So maybe there's not teleport.pcf in here, but maybe there's like Marasmus or Halloween particles in here. So let me go Halloween. Marasmus Blood Smoke, Marasmus 2 Warp, or TP Warp. I'm going to assume that means it's the particle. So I'm going to click it, shift, move the particle over here. So now when this shot plays, oh, that's not the right particle, but that's okay. It'll help with the particle I need though. So let me do that again. Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. Marasmus, teleport. This might be the right one. Now let me do the same thing I did before. There we go. Now I can just have them not be in existence for a second. Okay, make it so he's not visible for that shot, and then maybe I'll glue his root to the static prop so that he shakes with the watermelon like he's riding it like a board. Okay, which bone is that? Okay. Static prop. Okay, do that. Playhead. Now let's see if shaking the root messes with the watermelon. Okay, it does. So I'm going to add some jitter to the watermelon, or rather the root transform. And let's see. That looks about good. Let me see. Drag that into there. Do a bit of jitter. Maybe a bit more jitter. Okay, that looks nice. Now let me find that teleport particle effect sound. I'm gonna mute my mic here so there's no echo. Alright, now I have what I want. Now let's go to animating this. I'm not gonna be as lazy with this animation as with others because I don't know. I'm just putting more effort. So guess I'll animate some parts of this engineer. I could have him freeze still. I mean, I wouldn't mind having him stay still for this whole shot, but I'll add some more physics, like there's weight pulling down on him after appearing, just like the heavy earlier in the video. Don't know if I showed that very well, but whatever. I'll get to it and muting my mic. Now, I'm just going to explain for a second what I do here. When I get with animating a body, I usually start with spine 0. It's like the base spine. Every other spine is affected by spine 0's movement, so animate always spine 0 first. Think of it as the big granddaddy papa of all the spinal bones, and really, all the bones up here. This spinal motion affects everything. So, I'm going to highlight all time really quick. I'm going to start with the spine, and eventually I'll move on to the colors. Maybe I don't always do that because I'm lazy, but I know when animating arms you always want to start with these ones first. Never start with hands or whatever. You don't want to have the bigger, more controlling parts of the bone have to contort and bend to what you want later on. It makes for a big mess. Now, when I animate, to get the more realistic, I guess, sort of bouncy feeling is, okay, right here, he's really pushed back. Like, he looked like he just flew through warp speed through, like, another dimension or something, alright? Now here, he pushes forward a bit. This is his normal pose that he was in before. But he still has the inertia, the momentum of flying forward. So he leans a bit more further back, and then way back here, this tangent, he stabilizes himself just a bit. So you always keep the motion in mind that you want in your character, and you do this to all bones, and it will look a lot like real motion, alright? So I'm going to finish this up with more spinal parts. And it all kind of matches up to not make something janky, but try and make something that looks like it flows with physics. Okay, so that's how you get sort of more realistic motion. It's very easy to do. Like it literally just takes a bit of time and eyeballing the work, you know. See, that only took me a few minutes, I think. I think that only took me a few minutes, yeah. And usually with animation, like especially animation with so much movement, I like to make the camera a bit wacky, so I start here, maybe have a zoom out, and then it snaps straight to a tilt to the opposite side and zooms in. And zoom out to the timeline a bit there, and like that. That looks pretty cool, I guess. And then I'll go to maybe another clip where, let's say, to get establish the scene a little bit more, maybe I'll have maybe some dramatic music playing as the camera slowly rises up. So let me have the camera make a new bookmark here, delete that. Maybe rise up slowly, a bit more slowly. This is actually, this whole thing with the engineer teleporting in and these multiple cameras like that aren't showing the face immediately right here. This is actually a reference to I think my most viewed video right now. But this is basically a recreation of that video I made a long time ago. Well, not exactly a recreation, but this whole scene and sort of appearance is a recreation of sorts. But that's all I'm gonna go through for this episode, but I think you saw how to do some decent motion here.